How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a good day so far, wherever you are. I was meditating. It is still pretty early here this morning. I was meditating and remembered something that my partner and I were talking about yesterday evening. I often will only eat very raw types of foods, so I don't like to eat a lot of fast food and things like that. My partner and I were driving around, and the smells of all of the fast food and all of the imagery and icons and everything were starting to be overwhelming. And it's not even really that I was craving it. Some of it smelled good, but it was more so that it was just a sensory overload. So almost out of spite or a sense of facetiousness, I drew a Banishing Earth pentagram in my mind's eye to just like ward off these impulses and influences. And one of the things that happened was that it actually worked very well. It was very effective. And I didn't need to go into a whole, LBRP or, ceremony, ritual for this. I just drew a very basic star in my mind's eye. And it was very effective. It worked. So, and it worked better than logic was working, is the thing. It worked better than logic does. I was sitting there telling myself for a few minutes, it's not good for me, it's just smells, it's just chemicals, yada yada yada. And it was actually semi-taxing on my mind and my energy, on my wind and my fire. But one simple working in water, one imaginatory practice, and it was completely gone. And I laughed, and my partner looked at me and said, "What?" And I just said something along the lines of, one Banishing Earth pentagram in the mind's eye was enough to negate all of these influences and impulses. And she kind of laughed, and we got to talking about how it worked better than logic, and how that's not something to just shake a stick at, because we often see logic as the highest function or faculty, perhaps. But sometimes there is something illogical that is calling to us. And so we have to seek means that are unlogical. Not illogical, but unlogical. And that's an interesting thing to note. Was this the most effective or min-maxed? Well, I guess it might have been the most effective, but was it the most complicated and min-maxed ritual or working that I could have done? No. But that's sort of the point of this as well, is that there are levels of magic that you can perform. There are levels of effect that you can have. It's not always necessary to bring out all the guns. But the other thing is that I had to analyze why I had avoided doing things like this so much in the past. Obviously, when I first started with magic, I was doing things like this because it was recommended and almost required. But as I became more seasoned, I guess, don't want to say more skilled, but more seasoned, perhaps, I started thinking of things like that as too, like, newbie, or I was afraid that I was just being delusional. Like, oh, you really have to use magic to help not have a food craving or something like that, or that it was overkill. Like, just tell yourself you don't need it. But sometimes these fears of, like, oh, that's something a noob would do, or no, that's a delusional way to handle that situation, or that, why, I don't need to do all that, that's overkill. Those thoughts are typically being orchestrated by the faculties that desire the thing that you are trying to avoid. So just wanted to share that one with you. I should probably do more videos like this in the future, but yeah, just wanted to share this one with you. I hope it's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions in the comments, or any related stories that are similar. I hope you have a great rest of the day wherever you are, and yeah, thanks for stopping by. Take care.